Before we get started with today's show, I want to remind you to make sure you check out the Locked On Today podcast, because the Locked On Today podcast is the spot to get all the sports news you need in under 20 minutes with the Locked On Today podcast. Host Peter Buckeyes updates you on the latest news in every major sport with the help of our local experts. Follow the Locked On Today podcast on the Audacy app or wherever you get your podcast. And now, let's get to the show.
It's the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Buckeyes, your daily podcast on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, Buckeye fans? Welcome back to another episode of Locked On Buckeyes, part of Locked On Podcast Network. I'm your host, Jay Stevens, also the host of the Jay Stevens Podcast. It is Friday, April 30th in the year 2021, and the draft got started yesterday, and the man that's number one in the program, it's also number one in so many hearts, is officially a professional football player. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at JSteven07. You can also follow the podcast on Twitter as well at Locked On Buckeye. Lineup for today in segment 2. We're going to talk about a possible trend that Dabo Swinney started at the end of the regular season last year in college football. Segment 3, going to project and talk about what is to come for the rest of the Buckeyes in the rest of the NFL draft. We begin today's show talking about what happened yesterday when that man who wore number 1 his entire time at Ohio State, Mr. Justin Fields, was selected as the number 11 overall pick in the 2021 NFL draft. Draft season, as one of my friends called it, is like Christmas. I enjoy it. I enjoyed it more this year than last year, and more than I normally do, maybe because I am so much more wrapped up into what is going on day to day with the players at Ohio State, both football and basketball-wise, than normal. But, man, the draft is fun. Cleveland, love seeing what you're doing out there. Love seeing the fans. Love seeing the enthusiasm, the excitement. I love what the NFL did, bringing the chair from Roger Goodell's basement, bringing it to the stage there in Cleveland. I enjoy it. I thoroughly love seeing the fans. You know what I also love? Seeing the fans not really have a reaction, or having a reaction that has somewhat mixed emotions or mixed thoughts when their team makes a pick, makes a draft pick. It's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if that's the right move, or you know how it is. They get excited. Yeah, we got our guy. Yeah. Those of you watching me at YouTube right now see me getting a little bit more animated than normal. But also, in regards to Justin Fields, I know what my prediction was it Monday or Tuesday? He'd be a top 10 pick. Patriots move up into the top 10 to pick him. My backup for that was Mac Jones going to New England at number 15. That was my original thought, but then I thought maybe, just maybe, they bring Fields in. But now I think the Mac Jones thing, it was kind of, like I always tell people, go with your gut feeling. But also I thought Bill Belichick might do some things different in this draft, like he did things different during the free agency period, the beginning of the free agency period in the National Football League. Justin Fields, as the draft is going on, number 1, Trevor Lawrence, that was expected. Zach Wilson, number 2 to the Jets, that was expected as well. Number 3, Trey Lance to the 49ers. That was something I expected. I know many people were saying Mac Jones or Trey Lance, but when you watch the tape and see how well Trey Lance processes, how he can run, how he can make passes, how he's very, very accurate and makes very, very little, not many mistakes at all, it seemed kind of inevitable that was going to happen. And then things got interesting at 5. I expected the Bengals to take Penei Sewell, not Jamar Chase, but you get Joey Burrow reunited with a wide receiver that he won the Natty with. Jalen Waddle to the Dolphins once again. Tua, former college quarterback wide receiver duo, he gets reunited with one of his receivers. Lions with Penei Sewell. Okay, you need an offensive lineman. I get it. At the time, he's probably one of the best left on the board. So he is the best left on the board, so you snag him. Then Panthers and Broncos. Defensive back-to-back picks with J.C. Horn and Patrick Surtain. I thought one of them would take a quarterback. I would have even been surprised if the Lions took a quarterback because Jared Goff, many people are not fans of him. The Panthers, so be it. The Broncos, do you really trust Drew Lock? And then at number 10, even though when the Eagles moved up and they traded with the Cowboys, I'm like, are the Eagles really going to have a quarterback competition and put Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields on the same field and say, look, y'all got to battle this out to see who's going to be the number one quarterback for our team? I mean, it's possible. I was kind of thinking like, yeah, this is going to happen. Bears at number 11 with Justin Fields. Some of you might be Bengals fans, and when you realize that Andy Dalton was going out of town, picking up Joy Burrow, you're like, okay, cool, I like it. But then you also kind of followed Dalton down to Dallas, saw what that mess was down there last season for the Cowboys. And then when he went from Dallas to Chicago, back to the Midwest, you're saying, I wonder what the future is for the Chicago Bears. Justin Fields is that future. Will it be a quarterback competition? I do believe so. Will Justin Fields start day one? Initially, an early reaction is the reaction. It is no. But that doesn't matter right now. What matters is what we got to watch last night. Seeing him with his family, seeing a smile on his face, seeing how when he put the hat on, he kind of lit up and the look on his face was like a glow to it. It was a shine. Why? Because that man is officially a professional quarterback. And that feeling right there, it's one of the best feelings that he has ever felt in his life. Maybe one of the best feelings he has ever felt ever in his life. And I love that. Love seeing the smile on these young men's faces. Was hoping, thinking it was a good chance, maybe 2 Buckeyes in the first round. That was not the case, but that doesn't matter. Fields is a quarterback in the National Football League, and it's time for us to smile, be very, very happy, and see what happens next with him when he steps on the field once again. Let's come back. Let's step away very quickly, When we come back, we'll discuss the number 11. Did Dabo Swinney start a trend at the end of the regular season last year? We'll discuss that when we come back. But first, check this out. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your sports action. Baseball season is in full swing as football season is also over, and you can track all the action at betonline.ag. This week has tons of sports action on the go as the NFL draft is on and the Kentucky Derby is back as the first leg of the Triple Crown begins this weekend. Get all the latest news, odds, and info for all your sporting news, including MLB, NBA, NHL, and all your UFC/MMA action. Before the next pitch, head over to betonline.ag on your laptop or mobile device and check out all the great sporting news, sign-up bonuses, and contest information. Don't sit on the sidelines anymore, as this is your chance to get into the game as teams prep for their runs to the playoffs. Head to betonline.ag on your computer or mobile device to sign up today. And when you sign up, make sure you use promo code LOCKEDON, LOCKEDON. Once again, that is promo code LOCKEDON and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, your online sports book experts. If this is your first time listening or watching Locked On Buckeyes, I want to say welcome. Or if it's your first time in a long time watching or listening to the podcast, I want to say welcome back. And if you haven't heard, along with the Audacy app, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, some of the amazing audio platforms that you could check out and catch Locked On Buckeyes every Monday through Friday, and WKYC.com to get the video of every single show. There's also a YouTube page dedicated to you, Ohio State Buckeye fans, and this show, Locked On Buckeyes. Head to YouTube, the app, the website, the app on your Fire Stick or Roku or Smart TV. Search Locked On Buckeyes. Hit that subscribe button to make sure you are alerted and make sure you check out every time a new video is uploaded for Locked On Buckeyes, because this is the place to be to stay up to date on your Ohio State Buckeyes football and basketball teams. football team, not the basketball team right now. Today's all about the football. We'll talk more about Jameson Williams and the wide receiver transfer next week and how that affects Ohio State going forward. Will we see more transfers? That's something we'll talk about next week as well. Justin Fields, number 11. So as I'm watching the draft, just getting more insight to what was going on in my head at that time. I kind of gave you a little snippet earlier. But as your boy is watching the draft, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of went how I expected. 5, didn't expect Fields to go there because the Bengals drafted Burrow last year. Number 6, Dolphins, didn't expect Fields to go 6 because, well, they drafted Tua last year. 7, 8, 9. That's where things got a little bit interesting to me, and I'm sitting here wondering, what is going on? What are we watching? What are they looking at? When they evaluate stuff, what negative or bad conversation was being said behind closed doors? I understand what was said on the television or on the radio station. A lot of it was not anything nobody really believed at all. I'm just being honest with you. Like, yeah, Fields has issues. Fields is not the perfect prospect. Processing things, okay. People say Fields can't process. There is sometimes you can say Fields processing or holding on to the ball is a knock on him. That's why he was not QB1, he was QB2. Oh, in most boards. Okay, cool. I get it. I understand it. Not going to knock it. But as I'm watching this and I'm watching the draft and I'm sitting down at home just relaxing and, okay, 5, no. That was expected. Jamar Chase, okay, I can get down with that. 6, Dolphins, no. Jalen Waldo, okay, I can get down with that. Don't need to go through the first few picks because, let's be honest, it's kind of self-explanatory. We expected that to happen. Number 7, Lions. I know they just got Jared Goff, but could they just have a quarterback competition? I know they got to protect that man, but what's going on here? Penei Sewell, okay, best left on the board to some people. I mean, some people did have him 2 or 3 on their big board with Fields at 3 or 4, depending on who the big board was made by. Okay, cool. I get it. I understand it. Okay, 8, Panthers. You need a quarterback. You need a lot, but you need a quarterback. J.C. Horn. Quarterback 1 or 2 on whoever you're talking to, maybe 3, but I don't think a lot of people had Gregory Newsome over J.C. Horn, not even Caleb Farley. So, okay, I get it. I understand it. Okay. And then 9 with Broncos. I seriously thought they're not. I was like, there's no way they're going to let Drew Lock run this thing back. I mean, at least not with no competition. I mean, at least not with him just running this thing back and or just him trying to beat somebody out. I mean, there's no way they're going to let Drew Lock do this thing. I mean, there's absolutely no way. John Elway, let's be honest. No, there's not. Now, and I'm also an advocate. I'm also a person that says you got to give somebody a little bit more time. But giving somebody more time, along with competition, will hopefully propel them up to play better than they did last season. So these are some things going through my head. And then at number 10 with the Eagles, I said, Jalen Hurts. Does he deserve to be a starting quarterback? I mean, is he worthy? I don't say deserve. Is he worthy, or does he have the capability? Does he have the skill set to be a starting quarterback in the NFL? I mean, you got to give him a little run. I think a little bit. I'm not someone that says trial and error. Get a guy that's better. I do think Jalen Hurts well in college and Justin Fields well in college. I think Fields was the better quarterback. I think Hurts had some good moments at Oklahoma and at Alabama. But as you saw, Oklahoma and Alabama, there's a reason why he transferred from Alabama. There's a reason why things were the way they were when he was at Oklahoma. Devonta Smith, another reunion. We had a reunion, but at this point in the draft, Burrow and Chase, Tua and Waddle, and then Hurts and Devonta Smith. So you get 2 Alabama quarterback receivers reunited, and LSU quarterback wide receiver reunited. And then with number 11 with the Bears. And this didn't click in my head at the moment. I wasn't even thinking about the quarterback competition. I wasn't thinking about anything except for being happy and excited for Justin Fields, the quarterback. Why? Because this is an amazing moment. You see it all the time. And I think I watched ESPN's broadcast or coverage of the draft last night on Friday. I'm probably going to watch that on tonight and Saturday as well. May flip over to ABC to hear a little Kirk Herbstreit, what he has to say, a little Reese Davis with the hosting. I would listen more probably if they had David Pollack. I really enjoy his enthusiasm and his analysis. Not the biggest fan of Todd McShay, and what he said this year was not something that deterred me from being the biggest Todd McShay draft analyst guy. But when I saw number 11 with the Bears, Okay, cool. Midwest thing. He gets to be right behind a quarterback that is a vet that's been around a while, has seen a lot of football, seen a lot of different defenses thrown at him. So I get it. I understand. I actually think this is a good landing spot for him. A way for him to learn, a way for him to be a little bit more mature, to see the field in a way that he wouldn't see it at other places. I mean, imagine if he was drafted number 8 by the Panthers. Yeah, you got Joe Brady, but who was there to mentor you at the quarterback position? That's a quarterback right there in that room with you. Okay. Number 9, Broncos. Who's going to be right there with you to mature you, help you get a whole lot better as a quarterback, help you help the learning curve be a whole lot quicker. Okay. Number 10 to the Eagles. Who is there to help you get better, to learn things, learn the ropes a whole lot quicker than maybe you would if it was just you and somebody your age? Nobody. So a number 11 to the Bears, I am not on paper initially. I have no problem with it. The one thing that's very intriguing to your boy is number 11. And if Justin Fields wanted to troll, this is a great way to put it right now. If Justin Fields wanted to troll people and say, well, there was that coach that said he ranked us the number 11 team in his final coaches poll at the end of the regular season, and well, he saw what happened next. I understand Fields won number 1 at both Georgia and at Ohio State. Did a lot of phenomenal things out there. Like I said earlier, took a line or a segment of a line from Bill Raftery. Number 1 of the program, number 1 in so many hearts as well. That is Justin Fields. He's going to be number 1 probably in many Bears fans' hearts as well. But okay, so if he wanted to troll, little troll job, Justin Fields. Now, I saw yesterday, I think 11 Warriors let him in row. One of them tweeted out a link. Maybe even been Cleveland.com, that tweeted out a link that said, hey, you can buy a Justin Fields draft day jersey number 1 here. You can buy it at Fanatics. Fanatics on the website says it'll ship in about 2 to 4 weeks. It is a special item. And I think there was a promo code right there. Don't want to say it wrong, but there's a promo code to allow you to get free shipping. They do that all the time. Fanatics is great with that. But Justin Fields, if you want to troll, if you want to troll somebody that's not at the level that you're at right now, Fields says, okay, there's a number change. There is a number change, and this is what it's going to be. I know I wore number 1 at Georgia. I know I wore number 1 at Ohio State. Initially, I planned on wearing number 1 at Chicago. In Chicago, I was picked in the first round of the NFL draft. But because that man Dabo Swinney ranked us the number 11 team in the country in his final coaches poll, and we saw what happened after that, I'm going to continue that trend, being the number 11 pick overall in the NFL draft in 2021, and we're number 11 in the NFL in honor of what Dabo Swinney had us, where he had us in his final college football coaches poll. Guys, a lot going on. If you wanted to troll, this is a time to do that thing. Let's step away very quickly. When we come back, we'll discuss what is to come for the rest of the Buckeyes that can be drafted in the 2021 NFL draft. But first, check this out. There's a good chance you're a person like me that loves a good protein bar. You know, the ones that fit your macros. You got that diet, you got that workout plan, you're trying to get in shape last minute try to get in shape at the very last minute for the summer, or maybe plans at the end of this year. You know, you got the macros that you got to hit. You want the protein bar that tastes like a candy bar as well. Well, guys, your boy has ended his search. Thoroughly encourage you to end yours as well, because Built Bar is great for the health-conscious guy to help you lose and maintain weight while indulging in a delicious treat. The bars are low-calorie, low-sugar, high-protein, high-fiber, and it's also great for the keto diet. And with a purchase at BuiltBar.com, there's one unique thing that you'll find with every Built Bar that you bite into. They are covered in 100% chocolate. Go to BuiltBar.com and use promo code LOCKED15, LOCKED15, and you will get 15% off your next order. Once again, go to BuiltBar.com and use promo code LOCKED15, and you will get 15% off your next order at BuiltBar.com. As we wrap up today's episode here of Locked On Buckeyes, I want to tell you to come back next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the month of May. No sports going on as far as football or basketball-wise, but we're going to still be the spot to be to stay up to date with your Ohio State football and basketball teams. But before the month of May kicks off tomorrow, day 2 of the draft starts before day 3 of the draft. First day of May begins. In day 2 of the draft, I know I've given you the days I think each player will be picked. Day 2, day 3, undrafted free agents. We're going to go with day 2 and day 3, more round projections for each Buckeye. I know I've said 5 or 6 for some. I'll give you more concrete where I think these guys will go. Remember, these are projections, predictions, kind of like a mock draft. If I'm wrong, it's A-okay, but I do think that some of these will actually happen. I was 0 for 2 yesterday. Just be completely honest and transparent. I said Fields would go top 10, and I did add a little bit that Fields would be picked by the Patriots. Patriots wouldn't move up. That didn't happen. It was one position outside the top 10 at number 11, which I think that shocked a lot of people, analysts that are in the know as well. And then also I said there would be 2 Buckeyes picked in the first round. I looked at the latter part of the first round, so people that were selected. Rashad Bateman, 27 to the Ravens. Greg Newsome, 26 to the Browns. 25, Travis Etienne and T-Law Sunshine are together in Jacksonville. Steelers, 24, Najee Harris. And then you got Peyton Turner, Eric Stokes, Gregory Rousseau, Jason Owa, I hope I said his name correctly, and Joe Tryon rounding out the back end of the first round. I thought for sure you may see not a Wyatt Davis or a Pete Werner, Ben Browning, one of them possibly trickle into the latter part of the first round, but that didn't happen. With that in mind, day 2 is today. That is rounds 2 and 3. Second round projected draft picks by your boy, that the way that I think things will go in the second round. I think Wyatt Davis, Baron Browning, and Pete Werner will be second round picks. Josh Myers, more of a French guy because he's a center. He is interchangeable as far as he could be a center or a guard. I think you've got Josh Myers, Tommy Togiai, and Sean Wade will be round 3 picks. The one that I think could move up to the latter part or the bottom part of the second round is Tommy Togiai. That being that one technique nose tackle position, not as highly sought after as others, especially with today's NFL. In today's NFL, D-end or edge defenders or linebackers, a sideline, the edge guys. It does fit with the more of the scheme. That is what is going on right now in the National Football League. That is not going to diminish how good I think Tommy Togiai will be in the National Football League. Day 3 selections, I did say the guys I think that will be drafted on day 3, and they're all guys that had injury issues while at Ohio State, and their production was hindered by it. Trey Sermon, I think it's a round 4 pick. Jonathan Cooper, I want to say 5, but I'm leaning towards 6. I'll go concretely, and I will say Cooper will be a latter part of the 5th round. I think Hilliard will be a 6th round pick. Injury concerns, huge reason why those 2 guys are, Hilliard, injury concerns and lack of playing time, honestly, are why I think he is a 6th round pick. Cooper, just looking to see how does he translate? And I think that's the main reason why I have him latter part of the 5th. I'm struggling right now as I talk to put him in the 6th because I don't know, is he a stand-up outside defensive end in a 3-4 set? I don't think so. Is he a hand-to-the-ground 4-3 defensive end? I think he's undersized. Is he an off-the-ball 4-3 outside linebacker, Will or Sam? Absolutely, I don't think so at all. So I'm wondering where he fits in the National Football League. I do think he'll be in a camp. I think he'll actually be in preseason as well. So we'll see what happens there, but just initially, I just don't know how he fits in. And then the undrafted free agents, I'm not moving or wavering off of those. I think there will be 4 undrafted free agents for the Buckeyes. Tuff Borland, don't know where he fits. Luke Farrell, production was not that high at Ohio State. The Drew Crispin and Blake Heibel, the specialist, I don't think a specialist will be drafted in the 7th round from Ohio State this year. Thank you guys so much for listening, enjoying. The pen that's always in my hand is down on the paper. The show is almost over. Guys, this has been fun. I love draft season. As one of my friends said, this is like Christmas to football fans. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at JSteven07. You can also follow the podcast on Twitter as well at Locked On Buckeyes. Send your emails to me, jstevens317@gmail.com. We will be back next week. Looking to have a guest, a gentleman that covers the Chicago Bears for Locked On Bears. I believe Lauren Cox is his name. Planning on having him be with us hopefully on Monday for a segment or 2 to talk about Fields to the Bears, what that means initially, and projecting what may happen to him or for him when he is on the field for the Chicago Bears. Guys, this is fun, a lot of fun. More draft tonight, draft tomorrow, 2 rounds today, 4 through 7 tomorrow. Sit in, relax, enjoy it, because draft season, it's like Christmas.